think that's supposed to stop there. You can hear all that.
Yeah, you sure can.
I know.
You weren't kidding.
No, I said, like, when Jen zipped up her purse, she was like 2 rooms away, and we heard this. We're like, oh my God. All right, here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Radioactive Real Estate. My name is Jason Eckerman. I'm with Jet Real Estate Services. Next to me is the best sound engineer in the business, Jacob Stoll with Stoley Productions. We just refer to him as Stoley the Engineer. Our goal of this show is to bring you topics that are centered in and around real estate investing, and the housing market overall. We bring in guest speakers each show who are working in their field to give you relevant information that you can use right away in your life and in your business. So this week, our topic, since we don't know where you're listening, is going to be investing in other states than where you live. Just so you guys know, we are in Central Florida. We're all in the Orlando area here, and we have friends and family and business partners who are from all over the country. And it's always nice to be able to invest where you are actually from, or where you want to vacation, or do all those kinds of things. So to give us information we need to have success, we have our special guest this week, who is Aaron Holsipple. He is with A&C Real Property Solutions. He is a full-time real estate investor and multiple business owner. He moved to Orlando from Virginia in, that'd be the spring of 17. So he's coming down here to help family, right? Mm-hmm. All right. He built his entire real estate team in Virginia with the expectation of living there. But because of these relationships, Aaron can and does invest in real estate outside of the Central Florida area. He's done 6 deals under his belt in 18. All out of town, all out of Florida, and he's looking to do more of those real estate deals. So, Aaron, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, thanks, Jason. Thanks, Jacob.
Awesome. All right, so let's get right to it, Aaron. Like you said, where did you grow up? I know it wasn't Virginia, right?
No, so I originally grew up in Maine.
Okay.
And my entire family still lives up there. And I moved to Virginia in early 1990. And met a girl, fell in love, had kids, and the rest is history.
And away you go.
And away we go.
And then, so you ended up here just a couple years ago, right?
And
you said to help family. Yeah.
Yeah. So my wife's sister, my sister-in-law, her husband's a captain in the Navy, and they wanted to finish his career in Japan.
Wow.
So my wife and my sister-in-law concoct this crazy idea that we're going to sell our house and uproot everything that we've known for 20 plus years in Virginia, and we're going to move to Jacksonville, Florida. Have you ever been to Jacksonville, Jason?
I have. Home of Leonard Skinner, just in case anybody's wondering.
It is. Sweet home Alabama. So when we moved to Jacksonville, we figured out within about the first 30 days or so that it just was not our town.
Okay. And
that's when I reached out to the woman who brought me into the business, and I was like, "Hey, is there anything going on, in Orlando?" And she hooked me up with a guy named Kevin.
All right.
Who's in part of the leadership team here in town. So Christine and I drove twice a week, Wednesday, Saturday, from Jacksonville to Orlando for about 18 months.
All just to start your real estate investing business? Just
to start my real estate investing business here in Central Florida. And we found, it took about 18 months for it to get to my thick skull that I was not willing to take that drive anymore. So I said to my wife, "Hey, listen, we have 2 options. We either are going to move back to Virginia, or we're going to move to Orlando." So, we like Florida as a whole. So
yeah, it's not hard to get used to.
Yeah, I mean, when it's January and you're wearing shorts and the tank top, it's not a bad gig. So we opted to move to Orlando.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So, but everything you've done property-wise, just like the bio said, is better in another state so far.
Every single one.
Every single one. And all of them in Virginia?
No, actually. We've partnered up with people in Atlanta, Kansas, but the majority of them have been in Georgia and Virginia.
Okay, so you're kind of stretching it out there, which is great.
Yeah.
Which is great. So let me ask you this. If there's one thing that you were going to tell people to get started, and we'll get into some more facts and figures here and all that kind of stuff, but what is the one thing if somebody, let's say, because I'm from Minneapolis originally, we've never talked about that. If I wanted to invest in Minneapolis, Can you pinpoint one thing that I need to be able to do right away to make that happen?
What you need to do, you don't have to get on the ground. You don't have to go boots on the ground. You can create, relationships with the power of the internet. And what I originally did is that when I joined the community, I really put myself out there, and I did everything in my power to meet as many people as I possibly could, and then of course I showed up, right?
Right.
And the reason why I did that is because I knew that real estate investing is a team sport. It's not a solopreneur type deal, and because I knew that, I just I put my name out there as much as I possibly could at different events, and because of that, I created relationships with people that are on the ground in these areas. And so what my one piece of advice on that would be just to get out of your comfort zone and really just meet as many people as you possibly can, because you have no idea what relationship is going to turn into a significant amount of money and profits.
All right, that's awesome. That's great advice right out of the gate. So let me ask you this. We'll move on to kind of section 2 as we break this into some parts here, so people know like how they're going to do it. So what did you focus on investment-wise when you first invested in another state? Because there's a multitude of categories people can do with real estate investing. Short sales, wholesales, buy and hold, Airbnb, whatever the case may be. So is there one thing you have stuck to when you're doing your out-of-state deals?
Yeah, so when I originally got into real estate investing, I thought I was really interested in buy and hold. I wanted to do rentals. I wanted to own as much as I possibly could, and I still wanted to do that, or I still want to do that rather. But what I found is that I didn't have enough capital to actually buy and hold as much as I wanted to. I figured out quickly that I had to move my money faster, so I got into the fix and flip game.
Okay.
And it's kind of my wheelhouse. I really enjoy it. I didn't think I was going to, but I really, really like it.
Okay. Now, when you're doing this, and we'll just use your Virginia properties as an example, how many deals just last year, like just so as a reminder for the audience, did you do in Virginia?
In Virginia, we did 4.
And how many have you done so far this year?
We are involved in 3 thus far.
3 already. You're not even halfway through the year.
Right. And our goal was 10. So
okay.
So we're on pace.
And how many partners do you have in Virginia that you're talking to? Let's say I want to do one fix and flip. How many people are you talking to in Virginia to do one deal?
As far as
like, do you have a partner? Do you have a real estate agent? Do you have other people you need?
Yeah,
or other people you're going to need, obviously. But yeah,
yeah. So there's Virginia is actually two facets of Virginia. We have a partner in Richmond that we've done 3 deals with. And we did 1 deal of our own in Virginia Beach. And so everything that we do in Richmond, Petersburg, that area of the state, we partner up with my guy Sam up there.
Okay.
He finds the deals. He has his people in place, his entire team. As far as all the GCs, subs, realtors, attorneys, title, you name it. He's got all that. So when I invest with him there, I'm typically the money guy. Okay. Yep. So
so he's coming to you for financing.
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. So and I actually met Sam through another community member that I met in Chicago.
Okay.
His name was Ryan, and we were on a leadership retreat. And he was like, "Hey, are you guys still in Florida, or did you move to Virginia? I'm sorry. Are you guys still in Virginia, or did you move to Florida yet?" And I said, we've moved. And he was like, "Oh man, bummer, I was going to introduce you to my guy Sam." And I said, "Well, let's make the introduction. It doesn't matter."
Right.
So, and that one relationship, has earned me $40,000-$50,000, in profit. Just just one relationship. So that's why, going back to your original question, what would be that one piece of advice? Get yourself out there.
Yeah.
When we do real estate in Virginia Beach, totally different. That's where I've built my entire team. I have my contractor. He's got all his subs. I have listing agents, selling agents, title work. Everything's in place. So when we do get a deal, we can pounce on it and move forward.
Gotcha. Now, how often when you're doing these do you actually go, let's say, to Virginia, using this example, do you actually go up at least once to see it? Have you done deals where you've never seen it?
Yeah.
I mean, how often are you going up there just to check on the progress? Because I know, let's say the first deal. You're going to be like Sam. You may not, you had a great relationship with him, but you didn't know him as a friend, per se, right?
Exactly.
It was just a business
Exactly.
associate. You're hoping you're going to do this. So, did you go up and check it? And now, I suppose 3, 4, 5 deals in, you're like, have at it.
Yeah, good question. So we actually did. We actually went up there quite often to check on the property. And that was, a trust but verify type concept.
Sure.
Now, we just bought a house 2 weeks ago last Thursday, and I have no idea what it looks like.
You've never seen it.
I looked at the pictures on the flip comp, but other than that,
and that's it.
Yeah.
Now, is that a deal with your partner, or is that one you're okay? It is.
So that one is that one's in the heart of Richmond. We picked it up for $100,000, and we're looking at about $7 million in repair.
Okay.
And it should turn a nice profit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are great numbers.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to switch things up on you a little bit, because just for those of you who are out there listening, we give our guests a little bit of an idea of the questions we're going to ask, so we don't just come in blind, but we don't tell them everything, right? Because we want this to be fun, and we're going to have fun. So this is where Stoli is going to get you, and these are some rapid-fire questions. Right. They have absolutely nothing to do with real estate.
Oh, boy.
Here we go. Stoli, it's your show.
All right, cool. All right, completely random. First question. What's a vacation spot that you haven't been, but you'd like to go?
Fiji.
Fiji, baby.
Yes.
Fiji.
Do you read regular books, or do you audiobooks?
Audio.
Audio.
Yeah.
Do you speak another language?
Only bad English.
Okay. What's your favorite U.S. city besides where you live?
Washington, D.C.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a driver would you say you are?
I am an 11.
Oh!
I spend a lot of time in my rearview mirror. You have to around here. The driving is very crazy around here.
Yeah.
A lot of bumpers on the road.
A lot of bumpers on the road, but you're talking like NASCAR level here in Central Florida. We got Daytona Beach not too far away. You're telling people that no matter what it is, you can drive it.
I can. Yeah, it does not matter.
Wow.
It 2 wheels to 18, I can drive it.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
That's more than what I got.
And not wreck it.
Back to the scheduled program.
All right, so like I said, just a little bit of random fun. Just so we like to have fun. We can't just keep it all the topic around here.
I agree.
Going crazy.
And that was Stoli's 5 rapid fire questions.
There you go. I like that. We're gonna have to add that in there. We're gonna have to get like a night. We need a sponsor for that. First of all, I'm not gonna use a company name. We'll probably get in trouble for that. But Bill's Automotive sponsors Stoli's 5 rapid fire questions or something like that. That'd be awesome. So, all right, buddy, let's get into this a little bit more. For the people who are listening out there, like I said, using myself as an example, I want to invest in Minneapolis. Actually, I would love to. I'd love to own a condo up where I live. I'm born and raised up there. So if I'm talking to you and I come to you and I say, hey, this is what I want to do, what is a couple pieces of advice that you can give me? 3 to 5 nuggets that people need to know that we haven't covered yet, so that they can get out there and they can do this. Because the whole point of this show is to give value to people, to give them enough information where they're going to be able to go out, because you can't do anything sitting on your couch, right? I hope you're listening. This is great, but take this information, use it, go and do it. Tell us about your successes. We want to hear about it. Hopefully we're adding value to it. So what are some things you would tell me and say, hey, Jason, you want to go invest in Minneapolis? This is what you need to do.
So is this your Faxtel, or are we doing?
Yeah, you can go down there.
Okay. Well, I tell you, the first thing that you want to do is when you get your team together, and you have them in place, is you want to make sure that that you have a clear and open line of communication. And what I mean by that is to be very transparent. They need to be transparent with you. You need to be transparent with them. Okay, and you have to hold them accountable. It's your team, it's your business, and you train people, or we as humans train people how to treat us. And if you just roll over. And, if your contractor says, hey, we're going to be at this budget and this is going to be the time for it, this is the ETA, we need to make sure that, that we're holding, that person accountable.
So is that falls at what? The term setting expectations.
Yeah, you have to manage the expectation as well.
Okay.
And that's something that is, you have to continually do that. And that it's not just your contractor. It could be his subs, you have to vet his people as well, along with vetting him as well. But that could be your realtor, if the realtor, for instance, I'll just give you a quick example. The last house that we flipped up in Virginia Beach, the realtor was like, hey, I think that we should list it at this. And I said, well, I'm glad that you're giving me your opinion, but we're going to list it at $229. She wanted to list it at $225 so she could sell it faster.
Sure.
Right? And for me, I'm like, no, it's it's my business and this is my profit structure. And we're going to list it at $229.
So here's a question for you of your. You say you have your team of your realtor, your GC, the general contractor, the GC, their sub, stuff like that. And let's say you're using only your team. Do most of those people know each other now from doing multiple transactions with you, or are they kind of separate and off on their own, and you're the conduit of the information between everybody?
Only with the realtors.
Okay.
I don't. I don't trust realtors.
And just so full disclosure, I'm a realtor, right? I'm a bro. I mean, that makes me feel all warm and fuzzy right now. I gotta tell you, so that's all right.
Well, a quick story. Before I became a real estate investor, I was sold a condo, and we looked at the documents and the way that the docs were written. It appeared as though that there was not going to be an assessment on the property in any time in the near future. Before I made my very first mortgage payment, I was hit with a $7,000 assessment. The two realtors worked for the same firm. Okay, so
sure.
So with I'm not the conduit with anybody other than the realtors.
Okay.
So my listing agent does not know my selling agent.
Gotcha.
And vice versa. And I do that specifically because I want to control the information.
All right.
Yeah.
I understand that. All right. What are some other little golden nuggets you have for me here?
Well, I always ask the people for referrals.
Okay.
Whether it be, the realtor, the title, the lady who cuts the check. I just ask for referrals. I'm like, hey, this is me. This is what we do. Do you happen to know of anybody that we could help? Okay, so that's first.
So that's for not only you're talking. Ask them to go get more deals.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Because you don't know who knows who, right?
Right.
So my sphere of influence does not necessarily know yours, and yours doesn't know Stoli's. So at the end of the day, if you ask, you get 100% of what you don't ask for, right?
Right.
Which is no.
Right.
So we always ask.
Cool.
Yeah. Another piece of advice that I have for people out there who are thinking about getting into real estate, especially investing out of town, pay your people on time.
Okay.
Pay them on time. And if you can pay them early, because what's going to happen is that it carries a lot of weight. Okay? And when you say that there's going to be a draw check for $15,000 that's going to be delivered on the 15th, make sure it's there on the 15th. What you don't want to do is, you don't want any dissension amongst the ranks, especially when you're not there to damage control it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. Absolutely.
And of course, like I said, be clear, have honest and open communication, and finally, what you really need to do with any business, but more so when you're investing out of your home market, is treat your business like a business. And if you do treat your business like a business, the business will reciprocate that back to you. So, we don't do this as a hobby. We do this for a living.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm going to ask you one more question. We'll see if you have anything, just chime in, buddy. But what is the one thing you wish you had known that you know now when you started out? Is there anything on that bullet point you're like, I just never knew that was even going to be an item, or a thing, or anything of that nature?
Well, when you're talking about real estate, there's many different things. you can you can think that you have a good handle on what a rehab cost is going to cost you until your guy gets underneath the house and there's 2 inches of water.
Okay.
So now you're talking another expenditure. $5,000 for a sub pump and a French drain, just as an example.
Sure.
So I guess what I wish I would have known early on was to really think about what could happen versus, all of the happiness that they show you on HGTV.
Right. So prepare for the unknown.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And be sure that you have yourself a nice contingency plan, and that goes with exit strategies as well. Everything we primarily do is fix and flip, but the market may shift and we have to be prepared for that.
Gotcha. Stoley, what are you thinking?
I got kind of a selfish question. As a new investor getting into the space, you said that you were, you'd like to do buy and holds eventually.
Yeah.
And so you realized that you didn't have the capital. Personally, I want to get into buy and holds, but I also lack that capital. Would you suggest, looking into like flipping to, generate that quicker income? That's the reason why you got into that space?
That's exactly right. I figured out that for me to get the amount of money that I wanted, because when it comes to a buy and hold, I don't want to share that.
Right.
I don't want to. We were talking about being selfish, right? I don't want to share that. So whatever that property is cash flowing monthly, I want that all for myself. And so I have no interest in partnering up with somebody who does have a lot of capital on a buy and hold at this point. So that's why I do the fix and flip, because I can turn that money every 4 to 6 months versus sitting on it for long term. But the long term goal is, of course, to have 10 cash flowing rentals. Yeah,
multifamily.
Yeah. So I can pass those on to my wife and my children.
And when you started, rehabbing fix and flip, did you because for me, I don't really see the enjoyment in that, and it seems like more of a headache to me.
Mm-hmm.
Was that your worry also, or?
It really wasn't. It wasn't a concern of mine. I don't mind dealing with the day-to-day minutia, if you will, of the project, as long as I'm seeing progress.
Right.
So if I see progress, then I'm in good shape. If I'm working on something and there is no progress and there's still the minutia, that's where I have a huge problem with that. But is at the end of the day, if we're moving forward, the project is moving forward, I'm okay with it. It can be a headache, when you're dealing with a bunch of different people. The last few deals that I've done, I've actually been hands off all of them. I've just been the money guy, and I'm getting more comfortable with that, to be completely honest with you.
Well, and that brings me up to another question, because you said you like to turn your money over every 4 to 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want exact numbers, but what kind of return percentage-wise are we talking about when you're turning your money over like that every 6 months? And then obviously you just multiply that out to 12 for an annualized.
So I don't really work on percentages all that much.
Okay.
If I'm going to acquire the property and supply the capital for the rehab, then it's typically going to be a 50-50 equity share.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess it would be 50%, but it's equity versus an annualized rate.
Gotcha.
There is more risk involved in that, but there's obviously more reward.
Okay.
So this deal that we bought in Richmond just now, it's not. I committed the money. And looking back at it, it's not a great deal for me, right?
Okay.
So because I committed, and I am a person of my word, I committed the money. I gave, I lent the mony, but going forward, there will be a renegotiation in terms.
Can we record that?
Yeah, yes, you can. yes, you can record that. Send it to me.
Stolen, that would be a good show. It's live negotiations. All right, my friend. Well, if there's people out there who want to get a hold of you, how are they able to do that? Why don't you give us your contact info on if anybody has any questions, or obviously, there's always out there people looking for money, just like Stoli said. Maybe you can find a partner on this. How can people get a hold of you?
I can be reached at 407-801-8661. I'm obviously, my email is my first and last name, which is Aaron Holsipple at acrpsolutions.com. And of course, my website is www.acrpsolutions.com. Or you can simply go to info.acrpsolutions.com and fill out the landing page, and I'll contact you. Of course, I'm on Facebook, Aaron Holsipple. My Twitter handle is at Aaron Holsipple. I am on Instagram, not very much, and then of course I'm on LinkedIn as well.
Nice. So they can all get a hold of you. All right, my friend. Well, is there anything that we should have asked you, but we didn't ask you?
I don't think so.
No? Stoli, you good?
I am all set.
Good. Well, guys, that's going to be all we have for you today. For Aaron Holsipple, for Stoli the producer, my name is Jason Ecker from Jack Real Estate Services. Be sure to subscribe so you know when the new shows are available. Now get out there and do it. You guys got this.
Cool.